We, the ex-servicemen, for last 1231 days today, been on the street. We were assured of certain issues to be resolved to the entire satisfaction what it ought to be, ethically, morally, and what our security deserves. Unfortunately, 1231 days, and we haven't even got acknowledgement of the letters written to the Prime Minister. The last one written just about 5 days back. We are very concerned, anguished, and therefore request you as the President of the principal opposition to take up these issues with the government with all the might, with the assistance of other parties too, to ensure that the national security, which is paramount in this country, we are soldiers of the nation. And therefore, what was done, in fact, the biggest one is our one rank, one pension, which has a specific definition, which was given by the government at 5 different locations, 5 different papers, government papers. And once it was implemented, they are calling it one rank, one pension, whereas it is nowhere close to one rank, one pension. It is one rank, n number of pensions. Therefore, that is not yet done. The rank and file of the whole nation, of our soldiers, widows, dependents, they are all concerned. So we want you as the President of the principal party, opposition, to kindly assist us in getting this done. That is one. Second, sir, there are other very important issues which we would like to discuss. Today may not be sufficient time. Some other time, if you give it to us, we can have discussion with you. The biggest one, which were earlier agreed to, that like all other sections of society have their own commissions, like Women Commission, like Minority Commission, like Scheduled Caste Commission. Ex-servicemen have no such commission. We want ex-servicemen commission to come up, to be headed by an ex-serviceman and also membered by ex-servicemen. The third one, sir, that it was promised to us in 73 when our pensions were reduced, that government will give assured career till the age of 60 years. Pensions were reduced, but that has not been done. This government assured us, has not done it. So this is the third which is important, which is required to be done. Other two are the widows. I have 6,45,000 widows in the country today. And they are not getting their due, what they ought to be. We request that their pensions be enhanced. They're just 9,000 rupees basic. With his 2 children, parents, it is difficult. All widows of the country, 6,45,000 as on today, 1st April. So we want this to be helped out and their pensions enhanced, at least to the Sipai's pension, at least to the Sipai's widow, which is 80% of the total widows. So that is the request. Reservist, in 76, about 1,76,000 people were sent on reserve. But they were also getting very less. We want their pensions to be enhanced. Next one is ECHS, our healthcare. Our healthcare is getting into bad shape. Our impaneled, we were promised, in fact, your government has said 13 hospitals must come up. They are nowhere on the site. They have even cancelled that. So other issues we can discuss.
दोस्तों, हमारे भूतपूर्व सैनिकों के लिए एक बड़ी मुहिम चलाई गई। सभी भूतपूर्व सैनिकों ने मुलाकात की राहुल गांधी से, और जो मोदी सरकार ने झूठे वादे किए थे उनकी कुछ फ़ोटोज़ आपको दिखा रहे हैं। किस प्रकार से रेवाड़ी की रैली में हमारे पेंशनधारकों को मूर्ख बनाया गया था, किस प्रकार से उनके नाम से वोट बटोरे गए थे। लेकिन 2024 में ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है। हमारे भूतपूर्व सैनिकों ने एक मीटिंग की है, उस मीटिंग में क्या निर्णय निकला है, आप वीडियो को एंड तक देखिए।
Whatever time you give it to us, today, one rank, one pension, actual one, which the Prime Minister has been speaking at every place that he has given, is misleading the nation. We've been crying horse everywhere. that that is not the case. But only few days back when Subhash Chandra Bose's 75 years of government formation was there, he again announced it from the Red Fort that he has given one rank, one pension. How painful it is to us. How painful it is to us. Yes. And where so many glorious people sat on that and unfurled the flags. And here we are listening lies after lies. Yes. And he in Bhopal accepted it. That he has not given one rank, there are certain faults. And here he says, no, he's given.
The suggestion is very simple. He conducted the rally on 15 September 2013 and took all the votes by only saying one time one pension. I suggest you conduct a rally of establishment somewhere
In Rajasthan.
and take sale out of this.
And must announce in the first vote that one rank, one pension has not been granted the way it was approved by UPA.
In fact, wherever you go, sir, if he is saying every day, you also say he's not been given.
It's not been granted.
And
And
everybody will say that you will grant.
within 30 days, 40 days, whatever number of days, as per UPA order, we will grant it in full.
He's 26th February, he issued an order. 17th February 2014, he gave it. And that order is also not been implemented.
Sir, the
Thank,
question is
thank you, sir.
that one rank, one pension. General Satbir has brought it out very forcefully, sir. He has been leading our fight against the government for one rank, one pension. We have our ex-defense minister sitting beside you. Everyone is aware here. And I think the political leadership will be aware of it. What is meant by one rank, one pension? Please understand it well. It is the NFU which is being given to civil services, to all other cadres, is being denied to us. And there is nothing great about it. Only thing what he has done, he has just said that this revision will be after 5 years, pay commission happens after 10 years. What concession he has given is that it is after 5 years. It is not yearly. Please try to understand, sir. Sir, I would like you to commit to us here that you will grant us one rank, one pension when you come to power, your party comes to power.
Thank you. General
In the full
Bishambar Dayalji is
Second
also
thing,
here.
sir, second thing of my concern, of small time concern is that army,
One by one.
we are veterans, we are not that affected, but our army is being engaged in all non-military functions. Are you aware? No, army is being deployed to arrange Kumbh Mela, cleaning of Gangotri, construction of railway bridge in Mumbai. Are we supposed to do that work, sir, or are we supposed to fight war, and that too on two fronts? Why can't public be made aware that the way we are being led today is leading us to doom? So you must be aware of this, sir. Sir, must be a complete engineer regiment. And now Kumbh Mela, the army is going to be deployed there for all kind of functions. Military, non-military, law and order, everything.
Sir,
And
can
sir,
I,
one-
can I
one
also
last
go
point
to
I
General
have.
Sahab?
That
Sir, I'll come to you. We'll have to go one by one, sir. There is
Sir,
General Sahab.
there is a regulation of government, of all the governments in the past, that there will be lot of scope for lateral entry to the army officers and the other ranks, those who retire at very young age. They'll be absorbed in the paramilitary forces and other forces, but it is not happening, sir. I have got no grudge against anybody, but don't you think, sir, all this ITBP, ITBF, all other these forces are being commanded, being DZ'd, Director General are IPS officer. How can a police officer be a head of an organization which is military or paramilitary, sir? We have nothing, there are brothers. But is that so, sir, that we should be not absorbed in those things and use our experience for the nation building? These are my 3 points, sir. I hope it.
Thank you, sir. Can I request General Bishambar Dayali? Sir, I'll come to you. Let's have one by one, sir.
माननीय राहुल जी, मैं 3 मुद्दों पर कुछ बोलना चाहूँगा जो मैं बार बार टेलीविजन चैनल पे बोल चुका हूँ। पहला राफेल का, और बहुत शॉर्ट में बोलूँगा। राफेल आउटराइटली पारा डीपीपी पारा 28, डीपीपी पारा 80 और डीपीपी पारा 104, 105 का कंप्लीट वॉयलेशन है, क्योंकि एक्स डिफेंस मिनिस्टर बैठे हैं, इसलिए मैं डीपीपी पारा कोट कर रहा हूँ। डीपीपी पारा 28 बोलता है आप किन केसेस में ऑफसेट ले सकते हैं। डीपीपी पारा 104, 105 बोलता है आप किन केसेस में गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट जा सकते हैं, और डीपीपी पारा 80 बोलता है आप किन के तहत आप किसी भी, जब आपका, अगर आपका राफेल के साथ अगर आपकी बात नहीं चल रही और नहीं बात बन रही, तो आप कैसे सर L1 से L2 पर जा सकते हो। एंटनी सर, the CNC is empowered under para 80 of DPP to go to L2 if L1 is not responding to your queries, if Rafael was not. So these 3 paras, if you read, it is an outright deal which has been violated on procedural basis. At whose behest did क्या एयरफोर्स चीफ ने चिट्ठी लिखी थी कि मेरी ये हालत है, प्रधानमंत्री जी आप इंटरवीन कीजिए। जैसे एक बार वीके सिंह जी ने चिट्ठी लिखी, क्या उन्होंने ऐसी चिट्ठी लिखी थी? क्या रक्षा मंत्री जी ने ऐसी चिट्ठी लिखी थी कि आप जल्दी से जल्दी इंटरवीन कीजिए? किसके बेस्ट पर ये इंटरवीन किया? और ऑफसेट सिर्फ आप बाय में और बाय ग्लोबल में लेते हैं सर, गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट पे नहीं। गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट डील होती है, आपने उसकी कोई चीज देखी, गवर्नमेंट से बात की, उस गवर्नमेंट ने आपको अपने रेट पे चीज दिलवा दी, जो उसके पास यूज कर रहा है वो चीज दे दी उसने आपको। क्या फ्रांस सरकार दे रही है आपको? राफेल दे रही है आपको। दूसरी चीज जो मैं टीवी पे भी बोलता रहा हूं,
कहना है कि राफेल डील कैनॉट बी डन ऑन अ गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट बेसिस एट ऑल।
सर राफेल डील अगर गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट बेसिस पे करनी थी सर, उसके 2 पैरा हैं। पैरा 104 में कि आपकी सेना, आपकी जो एयरफोर्स है, उसने किसी आइटम को इंटर गवर्नमेंट किसी ट्रेनिंग में, किसी अभ्यास के दौरान आइडेंटिफाई किया और आपने कहा हम इसको गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट करेंगे क्यों, मैं ये अच्छी चीज़ लगी है, और वो गवर्नमेंट आपको स्ट्रेटेजिक नीड्स पे इस कॉस्ट पे देगी, जिस जनरल कॉस्ट पे, जिस कॉस्ट पे वो अपनी सर्विसेज को देती रही, या वो अपने स्टोर से देगी सर, अपने भंडार से देगी। मतलब फ्रांस अपनी भंडार से देगी उसके पास। ये एक राफेल एक प्राइवेट कंपनी है, उससे गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट डील में पारा 105 बोलता है कि अगर आपको कुछ ऐसे चीजें हैं जो आप सोचते हो आपको लॉन्ग टर्म में उस सरकार से आपको मदद चाहिए, वो आपकी इस डील की गारंटर बने, तो आप गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट जा सकते हो। इस सरकार ने पारा 105 अगर यूज भी किया है तो उसके बेसिस, किस बेसिस पे यूज किया है सर, वो एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है। पारा 28 बोलता है सर आप ऑफसेट सिर्फ बाय में लोगे, बाय ग्लोबल। ऑफसेट्स का एक मुद्दा था, ऑफसेट्स का क्या मुद्दा था कि हम सबको पता है सर, राफेल अपने जेब से तो पैसा देने से मिला, तो when we started in 2003-4 this provision कि let's have offsets. We objected कि no, offset means he will give us back from our money only. But we said no, let's go buy and buy global and buy and make. जब मतलब बाय एंड मेक में आप वहां से चीज खरीदोगे, हिंदुस्तान में बनाओगे, तो उसके साथ वो टेक्नोलॉजी देगा जिसके तहत हम ले रहे थे, जिसके तहत हम पहले एयरक्राफ्ट ले रहे थे, उसमें ये सब वैलिड था सर। उसके अंदर, और गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट का मतलब होता है आप स्पीड से खरीदना चाहते हो, आप एक चीज को लेना चाहते हो ताकि आपकी सेना जल्दी से ले सके। जब आप ऑफसेट्स डिस्कस करोगे तो इन्होंने 1 साल तक ऑफसेट्स पे 1 साल डिले किया है सर, क्योंकि उसमें प्रोविजन नहीं था सर। तो ये पूरी की पूरी जो पैराज है डीपीपी का कंप्लीट वायलेशन है। डीपीपी भी एक डॉक्यूमेंट है जो ऑथेंटिकेटेड है, जिसकी अप्रूवल है, जिसके बेसिस पे पूरी प्रोक्योरमेंट होती है। उस डीपीपी का वायलेशन किसने किया, किसके आदेश पे किया, क्यों किया, क्या मोटिव था, क्या मोटिव था, मोटिव क्या था, वो आज तक मोटिव समझ में नहीं आया सर। मैं टीवी पे कई बार बोल चुका हूँ, टीवी में वो बात दब जाती है। दूसरा मुद्दा मैं कह रहा था सर, जो मेन मुद्दा है वो है जम्मू एंड कश्मीर का। जम्मू एंड कश्मीर पिछले 3.5 साल में सर ऐसी दरार पे जा खड़ा हुआ है, जो 91 से 96 की दरार पे जा खड़ा हुआ है, और सारे ये लोग उसका तमाशा देख रहे हैं सर। उससे जो जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में आज हालात हैं, जो वहाँ हालात हुए हैं, वो देश के लिए बहुत खतरनाक है। हम लोग ये सैनिक, भूतपूर्व सैनिक है सब, हम समझ सकते हैं 91 से आज तक कितने सैनिकों ने शहादत दी है, और जिस हालात में गया, जिस तरह से बच्चा कल मरा है, उसके पत्थर मारा है, जो हालात है सर वहाँ के, वो इस देश के लिए बहुत खतरनाक है, उसके लिए सिर्फ ये सरकार जिम्मेवार है। और मैं एक सर्विसमैन से भी बोलता हूँ कि इस बात को बोलो, क्योंकि इसमें सिर्फ सेना का, जो कुछ परिवार हैं जो सदियों से सेना से जुड़े हुए हैं और जो आगे भी जुड़े रहेंगे, कितना बड़ा नुकसान है सर। आज जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की जो हालात है उस पर मैं समझता हूँ एक्स सर्विसमैन भी इनफ नहीं कर रहे और हमें करना चाहिए सर। आपको एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है सर, नहीं तो देश 91 में जो हालात थे सर, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर टूटने वाला। जो 89 के बाद जो इनकी सरकार बनी थी मुफ्ती साहब जिसमें होम मिनिस्टर थे सर, उस सरकार ने इस दरार पे खड़ा कर दिया था 91 तक, और हमारी माइनॉरिटी की गवर्नमेंट ने आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर्स एक्ट लगाया और उसके बाद हमने 96 तक कंट्रोल किया, 96 में इलेक्शन करवाई और तभी वहां पे जाके शेख अब्दुल्ला की सरकार बनी थी। तो वहां पे जो हालात है सर उस पे हमें बोलना चाहिए। तीसरा सर जो सर्विसेज का स्टेटस है, नहीं सर टेररिज्म के
बांग्लादेश क्यों बना? बांग्लादेश इसलिए बना कि बंगाली जो है वो पाकिस्तान की सेना से विरुद्ध हो गए। आज जे.एंड.के में बिल्कुल वही कंडीशन पैदा हो रही है। सेना को, सरकार को अपने लोगों से नहीं लड़ना चाहिए। उनके मन में धर्म की वजह से, बाकी चीज़ों की वजह से जो दरार पैदा हुई है उसको ठीक करने की जरूरत है। अदरवाइज कश्मीर हाथ से निकल जाएगा।
सर जो 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 टेररिज्म के 3 स्पेक्ट्रम हैं सर, एक नया डायमेंशन, हर एक वॉरफेयर के डायमेंशन है सर। इसके अंदर जो एक डायमेंशन, इसमें सिर्फ एक टेररिस्ट डायमेंशन था, फिर उसके अंदर डायमेंशन जोड़ती गई सर आईएसआई। और ये आईएसआई की एक बहुत बड़ी, बहुत दिन से वो थी, उनको एक सरकार मिल गई, मिली जुली सरकार। मैं 3 साल से सर टीवी पे बिल्कुल क्रिटिसाइज करता रहा हूँ, जिस दिन से वो सरकार बनी थी जब से मैं बोलता रहा हूँ कि ये सरकार इस देश को कम से कम भी 30 साल पीछे करेगी, जो कि एक्चुअल केस हुआ। बिकॉज आईएसआई सक्सीडेड इन मेकिंग इट ए वॉर ऑफ पीपल, नॉट ए वॉर ऑफ आईएसआई इन इंडिया। इट इज लुकिंग लाइक होम ग्रोन। इन लास्ट 3-4 years 80% recruitment is of our own boys, vis-a-vis 80% earlier coming from Pakistan, coming from Al-Qaeda, coming from Afghanistan. So this is where they completely fault. And third issue is sir, जो हमारा standard, जो हमारी
उसमें फ्रैंकली बोला जाए तो कॉस्ट तो आप लोग बेयर करते हो, मतलब
सेना बेयर करती है सर। सेना सर एक विडो, बिल्कुल सर बिल्कुल, और एक विडो सर उसकी लाइफ यही बता सकते हैं जितनी आती हैं सर्विस बोर्ड में, सोल्जर बोर्ड में सर। बहुत ये बहुत जो जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में पिछले 3 साल में सर, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत गिनौना है वो है। क्योंकि सर कोई जिम्मेवार नहीं सर, कोई जिम्मेवार नहीं है सर, ना तो एनएसए जिम्मेवार है, ना एमएचए जिम्मेवार है, ना एमओडी जिम्मेवार, कोई जिम्मेवार ही नहीं है जम्मू एंड कश्मीर का। पूछो इस सरकार से कौन जिम्मेवार है सर। आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर्स एक्ट लगा दी, उसके बाद आपने बोला ये जिम्मेवार है, एक ये काउंसिल है ये जिम्मेवार है, जिसमें सेना का बहुत बड़ा रोल था। सॉरी आई हैव टेकन टाइम। थर्ड इशू इज सर, जो हमारा स्टैंडर्ड गिरता जा रहा है, जैसे हमारे जनरल्स को टेक ऑफ कर दिया जाता है सर, जैसे हमारी सर सेना जो है, तीनों सेनाएं सर, इंटरनल लीडरशिप मोटिवेट करती है, एक सीईओ मोटिवेट करता है, एक मेजर मोटिवेट करता है, एक कैप्टन के दम पे वो एक टुकड़ी जान देती है सर। ऐसे सेना के अंदर अपनी लीडरशिप में आज भी जाऊंगा, सर के पैर छूंगा, जो मेरे बड़े हैं उनको झुकूंगा, बिकॉज हमारे अंदर एक सेल्फ मोटिवेटिंग वो है सर। सर जब आप सीनियर लीडरशिप को ऐसे दुत्कारोगे, जैसे गडकरी साहब ने वो नेवल एक मेन बेस पे सर, जैसे पारीकर साहब ने वो बोला कि मैंने इनको हनुमान बना दिया, जैसे मतलब पिछले 50 साल से जो हमारे लोग शहादत दे रहे थे उनको कुछ मालूम ही नहीं था, जिस तरह से ट्रीट कर रहे हैं सर, दे हैव स्टार्टेड ट्रीटिंग अस, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द ईथॉस ऑफ आर्मी। तो इससे जो मोरल को इफेक्ट पड़ता है सर वो बहुत सीरियस है। और मैं ये समझता हूँ इवन एक्स सर्विसमैन को भी इस पे बोलना चाहिए सर। 3 मुद्दे थे, मैं आपकी उसमें लाना चाहता था। और सर मैं ये कहता हूँ कि अगर ये लोग इकट्ठे हो जाएं, आपके साथ दें, लाएं, और अगर हम इन 3 स्टेट्स में इनको बैक फुट पे करें, नहीं तो देश का विनाश सर, देश का विनाश सर, ये मैं बता सकता हूँ।
Wing Commander Nabe and
Thank you for
sir,
giving
I'll
me
come
this
to you
opportunity.
and then I'll come to you, sir.
Thank you very for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
सर मेरी एक प्रार्थना आप सबको है, क्योंकि सीमित समय है, थोड़ा सा संक्षिप्त अगर करेंगे तो ज़्यादा जो हैं हमारे सेना के बहादुर लोग वो अपनी बात रख पाएंगे। विंग कमांडर नेब साहब।
मैं
सर लेट्स क्योंकि अगर हम ही डिसिप्लिन नहीं रखेंगे तो देश भी नहीं रखेगा। तो जो दूसरे एक वरिष्ठ साथी बोल रहे हैं उनकी बात जरूर सुने।
Thank you. मैं Wing Commander Vinod ने participated in 65 and 71 war and did make a contribution in bringing down the Pakistan morale by shooting down their saber each in both the wars. The point I'm trying to make, sorry? Yes, I was flying Hunter from Halwara first in 65, and 3 aircraft came and I shot down one saber there. Then the second time I was flying from Hashimara, went over Dhaka. At the short of Dhaka, I shot down another saber on the 4th of August. No, we didn't have missiles, only cannons, and shot down one there. So 2 aircraft for the credit in both the wars. 65 was we recovered the wreckage at the Sidwa Khan's range, where we used to go and fire. The aircraft fell there only, so we brought the carcass back of that. Yes, he died. And the second one I don't know because they were in Dhaka. So what they did, I really don't know. But of course, I met the chief of Bangladesh later, subsequently, when I went last year. And chief was talking to me about it, and he said, I like to hear your episode. I told him about what happened on the 4th of December. Plus also I mentioned to him that where you're seated, we were taken to Kurmitola. I said, where you seated, this is the very own place which I bombed on the 4th of December. Anyway, that's the lighter moments apart. The serious note I want to talk about is, you see, जो फौज है, जो सिपाही है, इसको तिरंगे से बहुत प्यार है. Everyone must get it right. तिरंगे से बहुत प्यार है. या तो वो गाड़ के आता है, या वो उसमें लिपट के आता है. कहने का मतलब है जो तिरंगा लहराता है, फौजी की सांसों से लहराता है. One must bear this. It's got a larger context, but I'm trying to tell you on this point. We have great motivation, but don't do a thing like this which will break our motivation. It takes years to build the army. It breaks. If you do a small thing, today plagiarizing is happening way beyond which cannot be comprehended. What I'm trying to say is, today, pardon my saying, if one is I'm going to be hurting, like police. Why are they copying the same ranks with the brass these army is wearing? They shouldn't be wearing the same brass. The guy is becoming DG, is wearing a lieutenant general's rank, and he gets it in 28 years service, whereas my general gets in 32 years. What is he trying to compare? The guy in Chandigarh, yesterday I saw on the TV is happening, he's wearing the army commander's insignia on his car. He's a civilian. They have the inspirations, I agree. You have the inspiration, but don't take a shortcut, man. Earn it. I've earned my wings. You go and earn it. Then it's worth it. But this is not on. What I'm trying to get is all these small things which are happening, it is denting the armed forces morale. And biggest thing is the 7th pay commission, which has happened. The entry level, the pay which is getting the Jawan and your peon and the civil staff, just look at it. He's higher than that guy. He faces the first bullet moment he is taken in the army. It's mind-boggling the way things are happening. The voice is not being heard, and it is going to be miserable. I don't know why this question was not taken up. In 1962, whatever the kind of budget we had, this time, last year, the budget was less than that of that. How come? This noise should have been made at the various quarters. Now, so that's I want to talk about the armed forces in general. Morale is a very high factor which has to be catered for and looked after. And they die for their uniform, they die for their status, they die for their honor. And everything is being decimated slowly and steadily and comprehensively. is not tolerable. We cannot take it anymore. Coming to the point of Rafale, I want to mention that. You see, in 2016, the earlier program was cancelled. This was informed in the Rajya Sabha, I think. Then it was said that we'll negotiate for 36 aircraft. MOU was signed in September 2016 and signed. Now all the costs I'm going to give you is all in euros because euros is a fluctuating figure. The cost of the euros was 7.87 billion. In that there was 28 aircraft for the fighters and 8 were the trainer aircraft. The cost of one fighter was 9.1 million and the cost of a trainer was 9.4 million in euros. It included and the enhanced specs which Air Force gave, it at the cost of 1.8 billion. The cost is there. Second is the weapon package which we asked for, additional weapon package. The cost of that in euro was 710 million euros. The performance-based logistic, because we're going to have it centrally based at Gwalior, and the squadron will be based at Ambala, and the other one at Hashimara. And for the logistic, will be means they would be maintaining it, and the cost is given for that also. That cost includes is 353 million euros. And what was agreed is 50% offset will be done, what is happening in Nagpur. Now, offset does not mean necessarily that they would be producing the Rafale aircraft. It could be drop tank or anything else, something else could be built there. But they are investing that much. So I just thought I'll bring it to your notice, and this is how it is happening. Thereafter, you can take it on the way you like it. That's all. Thank you.
Sir, I'd be very brief, not repeat. I'd just like to highlight that this one rank, one pension, it has not only affected the ex-servicemen, it has percolated because a soldier today, he knows and he is watching how he is to be treated tomorrow. Therefore, it has a fallout on the serving people also, number one. Number two, the issue of mismanagement. It's been talked about the rank, whether it is opening of the cantonment roads, which has not to the liking, it has diluted the security, and also this non-functional upgrade, where it was assured to the civilian counterparts, the armed forces people have to go to the Supreme Court to get it from there, and the matter is there, and every day it is causing concern to the people. Now, the surgical strike, what has been the gain, one really doesn't know, but at the same time misusing, abusing the manpower for non-military functions, like it was said, for construction of a bridge or for the Kumbh Mela, that is degrading to the armed forces. So therefore it is expected that this vast constituency of serving people and the ex-servicemen, they look up at you with the hopes that this party, which has traditions, which has seen and looked after the defense of the country, will do something for them. Thank you.
Mr.
इनके नहीं एक बात कह रहा हूँ मैं देखो मैं 16 साल सेना में रहा हूँ, फिर 20 साल अध्यापक रहा हूँ, फिर सरपंच बना था, फिर सरपंच संघ का प्रेसिडेंट राजस्थान का भी रहा हूँ कार्य। मेरे नेतृत्व में विधानसभा का घेराव हुआ था और अब ये सारी जनता त्रस्त हो गई है। राजस्थान गहलोत जी यहाँ बैठे हैं, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री सम्मान्य, इन्होंने, मैं किसान का बेटा हूँ, एक साधारण किसान का बेटा हूँ, सारी बात रख दी है हमारे सीनियर नेताओं ने। लेकिन मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, सारा एक किसान ये जितना उपेक्षित रहा इस सरकार में आज तक नहीं रहा और किसानों का गला काट दिया था। मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, आपने जो भूमि अधिग्रहण बिल जो है उस पर भारी विरोध करके उसको संशोधन करके पास कराया, नहीं किसी भी व्यापारी को पकड़ा देते किसानों की। तो सारी जनता आपकी तरफ देख रही है। 2019 में निश्चित रूप से बदलाव होगा, राजस्थान में भारी बदलाव होगा, ये मैं कह रहा हूँ आपको। और आप ये जनता जो है सिर्फ आपकी तरफ नजर है, किसान आपकी तरफ आकर्षित हो चुका है और इसका भारी परिणाम मिलेगा, आपको फायदा मिलेगा 2019 में, निश्चित रूप से मैं ये कह रहा हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Mr. Gandhi, Sorry, please go ahead. You, Mr. Gandhi, my introduction, I'm Major General Kuldeep Sindhu. My good fortune has been, first I'm from the most decorated regiment of the Indian Army, the Pune Horse. It's got 2 Paramveer Chakra unit. So my good fortune was the Pune Horse. This is the one which Colonel Tarapur, you must have heard. Well, these are all British designations. It was raised as the auxiliary, this thing in 1816 in Pune. And amalgamation. It's a highly decorated regiment. Arun Ketapal was from this regiment and Colonel Tarapur. One got a PVC in 65, one got a PVC in 71. That's just as the background. My good fortune was that I was at a place where I could see all these things happening like OROP, ECHS. I raised the ECHS. I was the first managing director and I raised it during the time when Pranab Mukherjee was the defense minister. Now, as far as the one rank, one pension is concerned, other things which are mentioned about lateral sidestepping, I'm not sure whether you're aware that under Mrs. Indira Gandhi, there was a commission which was authorized called the KP Singh Deo Report of 1984. It is a document which has to be read and this thing seen. It has been buried by government after government. It talks about soldiers being laterally sidestepped to like the ITBF or BSF or so and so. There's been resistance from the Home Ministry for doing this. We have got highly decorated people, highly experienced people who are not being used. Now you tell me, you would never have heard of a case where something happens, a retired judge is put in charge, something happens, a retired bureaucrat is, why not a lieutenant general, why not a major general, why not an air marshal? On an air investigation, you are putting this thing retired IAS officer, not a, all these people highly qualified, they are not being utilized. And it's mentioned inside that. One rank, one pension has been mentioned inside that. This origin was in 1983-84, when your grandmother was there as the Prime Minister, it was mentioned. And she had said, yes, we look at it, and so that was the start to it. Next point. All this sidestepping, there is a department called the SCOPE, Standing Committee of Public Enterprises. Everything is made to suit the bureaucrats. What about the ex-servicemen? They get nothing out of it. Today, it has been mentioned in Parliament also that the CAPF and the paramilitary forces are almost the same amount as that of the army or the 3 services. If that be so, then why is the army called every now and then? Kumbh Mela, this Mela, that Mela. Are there other people just meant to earn their pay and go home? There's no accountability for them. So if you're going to take a portion of the government's stake and earn from that, you have to deliver also. Unfortunately, they're not delivering. All these things like, your Ganga Clean program and all, are, when I was the Director General Resettlement, these are there on record. Military Commission, we asked for it. We said, okay, we will have ex-servicemen do the Ganga cleaning. Why are regular soldiers doing it. Regular soldiers are meant to train for a war. They should not be doing all these things. Next, then about the ECHS, the mismanagement of funds not being given. This was an assurance given by then Prime Minister Mr. Bajpayee. He said, gentlemen, this is not a gift to you. This is the obligation of the government of India to give to the ex-soldiers. Today, the government turns and says, we don't have money. And I can tell you for a fact, he said, this scheme will never be wanting for money. Other thing, you look at the equation. In 1947, when India became an independent country, that time the police superintendent used to be called as police kaptan. Today, like somebody mentioned, they are wearing the gorget, the ranks of major generals and lieutenant generals. It looks ridiculous. I mean, this is the place where people have worked their way through. They're highly, they're motivated a lot. So we need to look at all these things. And I think, as far as the Rafale is concerned, I'm not going to say because I have no idea about it at all, except to say that an individual is never authorized to carry out negotiations. It is always a committee. CCPA should have authorized it. I'm not sure whether that was done or not, so my comments are reserved. So if it was not done, I think, it's not fair to the last point. This is again during your UPA 2 or UPA 1. You created a Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare. I was the DGR at that time. I laughed, and the first thing I did was put a note to the Chairman, Chiefs of Staff Committee. Here we have got a system of somebody dealing with the ex-servicemen, where there's not even a single ex-serviceman there. What had happened was the bureaucrats managed to get 7 additional posts. Secretary, additional secretary, joint secretary, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. You ask anybody over here, and they do nothing for us. Are they meant to be just a system controlling us? Why is there no senior officer? I don't mind, even a major can go there. If anybody is a senior enough person, has got experience, he should be put. Why? Can you imagine the first one that came, asked me, Major, tell me one thing, how do we make lijjat papad? I said, look, madam, these are ex-servicemen. We don't do lijjat papad over here. You please talk about some substantive scheme for this. I'm telling you, it is ridiculous, laughable. It is laughable, but this is what is happening. If these people are going to, they've never been in a military job. The person was in a different ministry earlier, today comes to the defense ministry, hasn't got a clue. I think you need to, we don't mind the Department of Ex-Servicemen being there. It was created as a very good initiative, but it has to be logically completed. It has to be fulfilled in the correct spirit that it was. Thank you.
Thank you, General Sandhu. I have a request to make. There are many senior colleagues who want to say something, but there is paucity of time because Congress President had another meeting at 1:30, which we had deferred to 1:45 to 2 now. And you may all like to go outside, and there are media waiting to know about the interaction on Rafale, on one rank, one pension, on other demands. There are 2 memorandums that have been prepared by Rao Sahab and Colonel Rohit Chaudhary ji. I would request them to give that so that Congress President can then examine it in greater detail. And we'll carry on this conversation at another time, I assure you.
And then all these demands, they need to be basically a defense manifesto, and these should form part of the manifesto so that, we harp on 2019 elections.
कल रोहित चौधरी जनरल साहब, मेजर जनरल संधू साहब ने ये मांग रखी है कि कांग्रेस के घोषणा पत्र में ये सब बातें शामिल हों, और हम एक दिन चिदम्बरम साहब जो मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी को हेड करते हैं, वो आपके साथ इंटरेक्शन करेंगे पूरी मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी बैठकर, ताकि वन रैंक वन पेंशन भी, ECHS भी, और ये सब मांगे उसमें शामिल की जाएं. वी अश्योर यू जनरल साहब. Yes, I'll fix. हेलो, आप सबसे एक दरख्वास्त और करूंगा कि कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष के साथ अगर आप एक बार बाहर आ जाएं, तो पूरे देश के मीडिया के साथ ही इंतज़ार में खड़े हैं, वो एक बार आप उनके साथ एक बार बात करेंगे उनसे तो और बेहतर रहेगा. अंकल, नो we'll go outside from this way. जनरल संधू साहब, जल सतबीर सिंह जी, सर आप सब एक बार अगर वहाँ चलेंगे गहलोत साहब के साथ, सर अगर आप सबको लेकर चलेंगे, मैं कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष जी को लेकर आता हूँ, वहाँ एक मीडिया बाइट होगी, तो सभी वरिष्ठ जो अधिकारी हैं सेना, तीनों सेनाओं से अगर आप उन्हें ले चलें। भाई साहब बाहर सर, वो पोडियम लगा हुआ है सर, आपके साथ चल पड़ें सब। मैं जनरल साहब, you must go there and of course we will discuss separately. I'll fix up a time, sir. राव साहब, they are all waiting for you. अगर आप एक बार चलें तो मैं कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष को लेकर आता हूं, पहले आप चलिए। थोड़ा सर एक मिनट रुक जाएं तो बाकी के साथी पहले चले जाएंगे, फिर हम आपको ले चलेंगे।
भैया we should wait.